Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 15, National Football League. I dubbed Week 15 Letdown Sunday. A lot of teams had opportunities to do some damage in the playoff standings, and I felt like some teams just simply wasted some opportunities. They squandered golden opportunities to make some power moves within their conference, within their division, so forth and so forth. But in this particular game, I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was the case at all. In fact, I just thought this was two football teams jockeying for position. And if the Patriots won, they would have taken advantage of a gift that was given to them by the San Diego Chargers. San Diego Superchargers. But if they didn't, they were beaten by a team that was desperate, that was hungry, that was looking to try to get into the postseason in the Miami Dolphins. This is AFC East family business. You know how it goes. What happens in the family stays in the family. So I knew this was going to be a fabulous, fantastic matchup. To me, this was the headliner of week number 15. There was not going to be a better matchup in week 15 than this. And I had already said that. And I had already taken it a step further and said, I thought the Dolphins were going to win this contest because I thought they were playing the better football, the more confident football, and no Gronkowski for the New England Patriots. That was going to prove to be huge in this game. And I thought it would, and it did. And this game lived up to all the hype. It was everything that I thought it was going to be, and then some. So let's break this game down through the eyes of me, Louie T. So, 10-3, New England Patriots, 7-6 Dolphins. Dolphins, gotta have it. They got to have it. They gotta have it. There's no other way to say it. Ravens playing hot football. You got the San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers back there winning football games on the road against Denver at 7-7. So there's no margin for error for these Dolphins. You want to get in the postseason, you got to win games. You got to win the big ones against the big boys at home. This is a huge one for the Dolphins. For the Patriots, hey, Chargers gave you a gift on Thursday Night Football by defeating the Denver Broncos. Hey, ball's in your court. You want to be the number one seed? Win. Simple as that. Win. You want all roads to the Super Bowl through the AFC to go through Foxborough? Win. You win, and you're the number one seed. You continue to win throughout the season, and you're the number one seed in the AFC. That's what it all boils down to. You win, you're number one, and everyone has to come to Foxborough to get to the Super Bowl through the AFC. So it's huge for both teams involved. Let's break it down. Despite a productive opening drive, this was the drive that the Patriots had 15 plays and ate up over 5 or 6 minutes of the clock in the first quarter. Pat settled for a field goal after Fins tightened up at the 4-yard line. So, look, you know the mantra. You know the motto. Field goals don't win games. Touchdowns do. Unless you're the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football versus the Detroit Lions when you kick 6 field goals and win 18-16. Field goals don't win. Touchdowns do. So, you got to score touchdowns. You get to the 4-yard line, you got to score touchdowns. Simple as that. Dare I say Gronk? Now look, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So, Patriots up 3-0 in this game. And that's going to be the difference with this football team moving forward. I know they didn't have Gronk earlier in the season, and you don't want to use that as a crutch. I'm using it as a crutch. I'm telling you right now, this is a team that went from the propensity to score 34 every week with Gronk in the lineup to now being relegated to probably scoring, 27, 23, 20. And I know you say, well, 27, that's a lot of points. That's enough to win. Most weeks it will be. But in some weeks, you're going to have to be able to rev it up and score points when you get in the red zone. And they couldn't do it in this game. And look, yeah, I know. No Dobson, no Kimbrell Tompkins in this game, no Gronk. Yeah, I know. You were missing some weapons. I don't care. No Gronk is the most important one. And you saw the ill effects of not having him, and they're going to have to make do without him for the rest of the season. So 3-0 after that long, lengthy, methodical drive by Brady and that bunch. They only get 3, and that's not good enough when you're looking to win on the road. You got to get 7s. Dolphins put together their best drive of the game to this point and have nothing to show for it as long snapper and holder are not on the same page. This can't happen. Okay, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if the long snapper thought that the holder was ready. Obviously, he wasn't. He wasn't even looking. Okay, Fields, your punter Fields, was not looking for the ball yet. He was not ready for it. And your long snapper, he hiked it back there, and it came back, and it hit him squarely in the face mask. I mean, it was a great snap. It was a great snap. Just one problem. He wasn't ready for it. And so, ball ricochets off his face mask. You put together your best drive of the game to this point, yet you have nothing to show for it because you failed the field goal attempt because your long snapper and your holder aren't on the same page. And again, you got away with it this time. In the future, though, can't happen. We're in December now. Okay, these are September, maybe early October issues here that you iron out in the preseason. This isn't something, maybe week 4, this can't happen anymore. And so we're in December now. We're in week 15. That can't happen. And in the playoffs, that could cost you a football game. That could have cost you this football game. Can't happen. But things happen. That's not supposed to be one of them, though. So it's still 3-0 Patriots at this point. Patriots capitalize on that miscue as Brady drives the O down the field and connects with Michael Louie. I got it. Michael Louie. Yeah. As he makes a one-handed stab in the end zone, gives the Patriots a 10-0 lead. Amazingly enough, Louie's first touchdown as a Patriot. He's been on the team for 3 years. It seems like he's always in the game. But when you got Gronk, when you got Hernandez, I went to the well one too many times. I should have stopped while I was ahead. Doesn't get a lot of attempts. But it's his first, and it was a heck of a grab in the end zone. It's 10-0. Patriots are on top. Let me try it one more time. Louie. Boom! And so, at this point, the Dolphins are in the danger zone. They're in the danger zone. They need a stop. They need to get some points. On this possession right here, they need to go down. Get something. I don't care if it's a field goal, a touchdown. Let the Patriots know that you're alive in this football game. We're going into the half right now. It's 10-0. You need to get something right before the half to respond to what the Patriots have done to try to go into the half with a 10-0 lead. You need to get something. Whether you end the half with a field goal or you go down and you get 7, doesn't matter. Do something. Dolphins finally make some noise as Tannehill finds Wallace for a 39-yard touchdown hookup. It's 10-7 New England at the half. So the Patriots relinquish a touchdown right before the half. Great job by the Dolphins to respond because this was a huge drive in this game. If you don't get something here, keep in mind, Patriots get the ball after the half. You don't get something here, and they get the football back after the half, and they go down and get a field goal and go up 13, I don't know. I don't know how the Dolphins respond to that. So that was a huge touchdown, and that was a big play by Mike Wallace. That's exactly why they went out and got this guy. He had a huge game, 6 grabs, over 100 yards. He was monstrous in this game, and he could have had more. And I'll talk about that a little bit later, but this is why you went out and got 60 minutes right here, for him to perform on the big stage, make some big plays. This was a nice catch, but the run after the catch was even better than the catch itself. Great throw by Tannehill, thread the needle, 2 defenders. Wallace bounce off of one, runs by the other, gets into the end zone, 39-yard touchdown hookup, 7-10. Patriots lead by 3 at the half, but the Dolphins are squarely in the middle of this game, and that's where they want to be. And they need to be able to get this one. And that touchdown right before the half really set the tone for the second half. Opening possession of the second half sees Stephen Gostkowski miss a 48-yard field goal, and off that miss, the Dolphins use 8 plays to get into the field goal range, and Caleb Sturgis connects from 32 yards out. It's 10-all. So you give it, you take it away. Patriots get the football back, and that's why that touchdown before the half was so important, because that touchdown gave you the momentum going into the half. Patriots get the football, and they come right down the field, and they get in the field goal range. And let's say that you don't score before the half, and they connect on that 48-yarder, which most times than not, Stephen Gostkowski is going to make a 48-yard field goal. But he didn't on this particular possession, but most times than not, he's going to make that. If he connects on that and you don't have any points, it's 13-0. You're in a world of trouble. Instead, you score before the half, he misses the field goal, you take that 8 plays later, and you get a field goal of your own. Now it's 10-all. So you've erased that 10-point deficit. You're right where you need to be. Now you're in striking distance. You're in a striking zone. Go after these guys. Make a statement at home. Tannehill heats up and starts finding Brian Hartline. He starts finding Mike Wallace. Then they get a pass interference on the linebacker Fletcher inside the red zone that sets up a 4-yard touchdown pass to Daniel Thomas. Dolphins take their first lead at 17-10 in this game. And I tell you what, Ryan Tannehill was sharp in this game. This is the Ryan Tannehill that we are looking for, that you drafted out of Texas A&M with the hopes that he would be the next coming of Dan Marino. Now look, there is no next Dan Marino, but you haven't had a guy that has been a franchise quarterback since Dan Marino. And I think that you thought that when you got Ryan Tannehill, he was the answer. He was the man. And this is the type of game that you need from him for him to prove that he is, in fact, that guy that is going to be the franchise quarterback now and into the future in Miami. This was a huge game for him because this was a statement game. You had to have it. He needed to be precise. And the thing I liked about Tannehill in this game is that he was decisive. When he made up his mind, he rifled it in there. He made sure that he didn't make the big mistake in this game. The Ryan Tannehill earlier in the season when you started on a 3-game winning streak looked like this. Then there was a Ryan Tannehill that was indecisive, that was getting sacked, that was making mistakes, making that big turnover at a very inopportune time, and it cost you some ball games. This Ryan Tannehill right here, this is the one you need to see at this time of the season as we're trying to get to the playoffs. If you're the Dolphins, this is the Ryan Tannehill that's going to get you into the postseason and get you past wild card weekend. That's the Ryan Tannehill we need to see. On this particular drive, I thought he was as impressive as he's been all season. I mean, he was sharp. He was to the point. He was hitting guys in stride. I mean, he hit Hartline at least 3 times on this possession. And Hartline didn't have a catch until this drive. And that's where you can see the ball starting to get in motion with him and Hartline getting in sync. Wallace was already having a stellar game to this point. 17-10 on the 4-yard Daniel Thomas touchdown grab. Dolphins finally take the lead. Pats respond with a 15-play, 81-yard drive. Edelman really steps up on this possession. I mean, he really dominated that drive. Still, only a field goal to show for their efforts. Pressure on Brady. I thought the Dolphins did a great job. They didn't get a lot of sacks. They only had 1 sack in this game, and that was Cameron Wake. But they did a great job of pressuring Brady. Brady was never really comfortable in this game. They did a great job of sending guys and really getting Brady off the spot. Now, there were times where Brady sat back there, built the house, and delivered the football, but there were enough instances in this game where the Dolphins got enough pressure on Brady to make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket. There were a lot of passes that hit the ground. There were a lot of passes where Brady didn't have the correct footwork. And so that credit needs to be given to this Dolphins defense for making it a little tough on Tom Brady and this Patriots offense, especially with no Gronkowski, with no Kimbrough Tompkins, with no Aaron Dobson. Without all those weapons, you definitely need to make life miserable for Tom Brady, and I thought the Dolphins defense did a great job of doing it. And again, you know the mantra. Field goals don't win games. Touchdowns do. This is the second time the Patriots have went on a 15-play drive and only had a field goal to show for it. So a little bit of credit needs to be given to the Dolphins defense for clamping down and not allowing this Patriots offense to get in the end zone. But also, in that same breath, shame on the Patriots offense for not getting in the end zone after putting together lengthy drives like that on 2 separate occasions in this football game. So Tannehill misses Wallace on a deep ball. They end up punting. And I thought this was the game right here. I thought this could have put the game away right here. And I've talked about this numerous times this season where Tannehill has had a wide open Mike Wallace and he's underthrown him or he's overthrown him. And here's another case of these two just simply not being able to connect with each other. Wallace beats his defender. He's got 2 steps, 3 steps on him. And Tannehill underthrows him, and he's got to try to wait on the football, and it just doesn't work. And in Carolina, against Carolina at home, was the only time that underthrow on the deep ball worked for Mike Wallace and Ryan Tannehill. He's got to hit this deep ball. That's the next progression of Tannehill and Mike Wallace. The two of them need to be on the same page because they're going to be a tandem for years to come. And they got to hit the deep ball. If Mike Wallace isn't catching the deep ball, if Tannehill isn't hitting the deep ball, you're not maximizing the usage of Mike Wallace on this football team. I don't want to say that's too big of a percent. 40%. I was going to say 70. 40% of what Mike Wallace brings to the table is the deep ball. Literally, 40% of his production for you on this team is going to be the deep ball. You got to hit it. And this was the chance to put the Patriots out of their misery in this game. You had them 17-13. You got all the momentum. You get a stop. They drive all the way down the field, and they only get a field goal. That's a win for the defense. That's a win for the Dolphins. And then you got Mike Wallace open down the sideline, and you miss him. No! Come on, Ryan. You got to hit him. This has been something that's been going on all season long. Got to hit him. But he misses him. They got a punt. And that left this door. It left it slightly ajar. It left that door slightly cracked. And you know, that's all that Tom Brady needs to try to knock that door down. Edelman catch and run, zig and zag for 24-yard touchdown with 4 minutes and 7 seconds left. Patriots take a 20-17 lead. What can I say? Julian Edelman was a stud in this game. 13 catches, 139 yards. He stepped up. A lot of people don't give Julian Edelman enough credit. To me, I'm more fearful of him than I am Danny Amendola. I trust Julian Edelman more so than I do Danny Amendola. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but Patriots take the lead. At this point, I'm saying to myself, all right, Ryan, you missed a deep ball, but you've had a stellar game to this point. Really been sharp. But this is where champions are made. This is where franchise quarterbacks stake their claim right here. Big game, big stage, playoffs on the line, ball in your hands, 4 minutes left, need a touchdown. Can get a field goal, but who's playing for overtime? You're going for the jugular here. Win the game. Take your team down the field, get a touchdown. That's how I measure quarterbacks. I give you the football in the clutch, in the fourth quarter, hand it to you and say, hey, I need a touchdown. Hey, I need a field goal. Go get it for me. I need you to take your team down. Take the troops, rally them, take them down the field, get a touchdown, win the game. Ball kicked out of bounds. That's always a help. Illegal kick by the Patriots. Rough game for Stephen Gostkowski. He has a missed field goal from 48, kicks the ball out of bounds on the most important possession of the game, gives the Dolphins a start at the 40-yard line. That's rough. Things start to drive at the 40. Tannehill is sacked and brings up 3rd and 17. Wow. That's not the way you want to start off the drive that you need to go down and get a touchdown for to win the game. So it's 3rd and 17. No need to panic. It's 2 down territory. Mentally, you've already told yourself, hey, if I get some here and make it 4th and manageable, we're going for it. Dolphins get 12 to Heartline on 3rd and 17, make it 4th and 5. Now, this is a risky proposition. If you're watching the telecast, you got Phil Simms and you got Jim Nantz saying, hey, you got a punt here, right? Wrong. This is where coaches make their money. You know the pulse of your team. You got all 3 timeouts, so it's not a big deal. If you don't pick it up, then you have to hold the Patriots to a field goal or force them to punt. Most likely, you're not going to stop them from getting at least a field goal, but you got all 3 of your timeouts. You get enough stops, you get the football back. You won't have timeouts, you won't have a lot of time, but you'll have a chance to still win the game. But you're not thinking like that. You're thinking, hey, I can pick this 4th down up, convert, and get this touchdown. So, 4th and 5. Charles Clay. And this was a wide receiver screen, tight end screen to Charles Clay. And Tannehill threw this ball slightly behind Charles Clay. He had to reach back for it. I thought that errant throw, that little bit of Tannehill being off on that throw was going to cost you. I thought that they were going to rally to the football and tackle him. Tremendous blocking by the receivers and the offensive line on that play to give him a chance to go back, corral the football, gather himself, and then go up the field. I thought for sure that play was not going to work because Tannehill needed to be accurate there. He needed to give it to him in a space where he could catch it and go up the field immediately. He didn't have time to waste a step or two to go back, get the football, regather himself, and go up the field. But the blocking was so on point on that play that he was able to get 6 on 4th and 5. That was the play of the season, not just this game. That was the play of the season. You don't pick that up I don't think you win this game, honestly. I do not think you win this game. So, Clay gets 6 on the tight end screen, moves the sticks with 2:34 remaining on the clock. 5 plays later, Tannehill to Thigpen for 14 yards and a touchdown to give the Fins a lead at 24-20 with a minute and 15 seconds left. I tell you what, a huge catch by Hartline on that drive, but an even bigger catch was the one by Rashard Matthews on the sidelines to get his feet down. Beautiful throw by Tannehill, even better catch by Matthews. I tell you what, this Dolphins offense starting to click. Guys are stepping up in huge spots. Matthews with a huge catch. Hartline had a huge game. So did Wallace. And Thigpen with a huge grab and getting up the field and getting into the end zone on a ball that I thought was a little underthrown. But he makes the stab, gets up the field. Thigpen is a guy that I think you need to use out of the backfield a little bit more. He's dynamic. He's got speed. He can catch the football. I like Thigpen a lot. And he proved to be huge in this football game with that touchdown catch. Dolphins take a 24-20 lead. That's what I'm talking about, Tannehill. That's what I'm talking about, Ryan. That's what I wanted to see. But, you know what I'm about to say. With a minute 15 left, a couple of timeouts, you know what time it is. It's time. It's time. It's Brady time. Time. You know what time it is? It's Brady time. And if you're a Dolphins fan, don't sit here and tell me that you weren't nervous, that you weren't shaking in your boots, that you knew that Tom Brady was getting the football back. You were saying to yourself, damn it, man, Tom is getting the football back. And so you were counting on your defense to get one stop. Just it. One stop. One stop for the season. Could they stop Tom Brady? They got no Gronkowski, no Dobson, no Kimbrell Tompkins. Can you get the stop? Let's see. Fins getting pressure on Brady, and I talked about that earlier. Leads to 4th and 8 from the Patriots 33. So you get them right there. First set of downs. You stop them cold turkey. It's 4th and 8 from the 33-yard line. All you need is one play. One stop. Brady finds Amendola for 11. Then Amendola for 25 more down to the Dolphins 25. Just like that, in the blink of an eye. It's time. It's Brady time. Time. You're nervous. I know you're nervous. Because Brady's at the 31. Not at the Patriots 31. At the Dolphins 31. You're nervous. Because just like that, Brady has moved this team into Dolphins territory. So, now, they spike it with 36 seconds left. On 3rd and 10, Brady under duress. And again, I talked about this Dolphins defense getting pressure on him. He's under duress. As he's backpedaling, Brady finds Julian Edelman for 11 yards on 3rd and 10 in a new set of downs. They ice their final timeout with 21 seconds left. This is the ball game, essentially. Dolphins are doing all they can to prevent this touchdown. I mean, the season's on the line here. There's still life for the Patriots if they lose this game. They're still going to win the AFC East. For you, there is no tomorrow. You lose this game, chances of you making the postseason, they shrink exponentially. So, this is huge. Okay? Danny Amendola has the football in his hands, in the end zone, for a touchdown. But it is pried from his grasp by Michael Thomas. And they talked about him all telecast, about how this guy was playing his first games, never been in an NFL game before, getting his first snaps. Brady was trying to go after him. He made it his business to go after him on that play. And he had the football, did Danny Amendola. But he's no Wes Welker. Nope, he's no Wes Welker. He's not even Julian Edelman. Edelman catches that football. That's why I trust Julian Edelman more so than Danny Amendola. He's durable. He doesn't miss games. And if I throw it to him, he's going to catch it. You could have used Rob Gronkowski down here, couldn't you? Yeah, you sure could have. And that's the difference between pre-injury and post-injury. Probably win this football game. No Gronk, No chance. So, now, after 2 more incompletions, it's 4th and 5 from the 11-yard line. So they can still pick up a first down, but guess what? Only 7 seconds left on the clock. So, for all intents and purposes, unless this goes out of bounds and they get the completion, game's over. This is the last play. Everybody on your feet. This is for the Dolphins season. This is for the Patriots to go to the number 1 seed in the AFC. Is it Brady time? Or is this Dolphins D going to stand up? With 7 seconds left, Brady tries to force it into double coverage. Michael Thomas falls off of his man into an interception to end the ball game as the Dolphins secure the victory 24-20 at home, and arguably their biggest win since Ryan Tannehill has been their quarterback. The biggest win under Joe Philbin by far. And I'll tell you what, I saw this one coming, but this one felt like it meant more to the Dolphins. Again, Patriots wanted this one. They want to prove to people that they can win without Gronk. They want to get the number 1 seed, but the Dolphins needed this game. The Patriots wanted this game, and that's why I thought the Dolphins would win this game. And they got it done defensively. I thought that offensively, Tannehill was sharp. Wallace over 100 yards on 6 catches. I thought that Hartline stepped up in the second half after having no catches in the first half. 5 grabs, over 80 yards. He was huge. Rashard Matthews, couple of big grabs. Charles Clay, huge on 4th and 5. Dick Penn gets in the end zone. It was a collective effort on the offensive side of the football. Lamar Miller gives you a boost in the run game. Actually averaged over 4 yards a pop. I just thought it was a team effort on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, this is where you win the game. Patriots had multiple drives of over 15 or over 13 plays, 2 15-yard drives, and they get field goals. Defense dug in their heels. Stopped Brady from getting in the end zone at the end of the game. What more can I say? What more can I say? Dolphins wanted it more. Dolphins needed it more, and they got it in this game. Huge win for the Dolphins. I think, and I've said this already, I still think, even though the Ravens are playing some scary football, I still think that the Miami Dolphins are getting into the postseason as the number 6 seed in the AFC. And this win kind of solidifies that for me. I'm not backing down from my statement. I feel confident. I don't care that the Ravens went to Detroit and won. That's a big win for them, but I still feel like this Dolphins team, when it's all said and done, it's going to be the number 6 seed in the AFC. And this win was one that they had to have. And I did make a statement that I'm going to recant. Now, I did say that I thought 9-7 was going to be the number that got you in the AFC playoffs. 9-7 isn't good enough anymore. With both teams winning games that they needed to win, that I didn't think both would win, 10-6 is what you got to have now. I think both of them have to win out to get in. If the Ravens win out, they're in. But I see them losing to Cincinnati in Week 17. That's going to open up the door for the Dolphins if they can win out now. I tell you what, Week 16, your biggest game of the season. If you thought Week 15 was bad, Week 16 is even bigger because you're on the road at Buffalo and they play confident football at home. That's a scary game. I honestly think you could lose that game. But if I'm going to make a statement like you're going to make it into the postseason as a 6th seed, then you don't have a choice. You got to win that game. But I tell you what, it would not surprise me one bit if Buffalo came into that game and beat you. But you got to step up and you got to dig deep and you got to win that game. Okay? You cannot let Buffalo stop this movement that you're putting forth in Miami. After all the turmoil, all the controversy, you're still right here with a chance to go to the postseason. And so, you can't let the Buffalo Bills stop that. You've been through too much to let the Buffalo Bills, because you're going to beat the Jets in Week 17 at home. I'm not even worried about the Jets. I'm worried about this one. Buffalo, Week 16, on the road. Tough place to play. A nasty, gritty defense that will force turnovers. And a couple of guys that are explosive, that can make some plays that can get you in the blink of an eye. C.J. Spiller, Marquise Goodwin, They've got some guys that are explosive. Wow, that's going to be a big one. But you got this one. That one meant nothing without this one, and you got this one against the best team in your division, the New England Patriots. You finally slayed the dragon. It's been a long time coming, but you finally slayed the dragon. Big win for the Dolphins, 24-20. I won't even call this a letdown for the Patriots because this was a really good football game. This was a tough team on the road, family business. You know how that goes. You're going to kick yourself because you had a chance to be the number one seed in the AFC. Now, you'll just take a first-round bye at this point. I mean, Cincinnati is beating down your door. And don't forget about Indy. Indy is right there, too, at 9-5. So you got a road game against the Baltimore Ravens now. If you're New England, wow. I mean, wow. You got to go on the road and beat a team that has annually beat you in the Baltimore Ravens. So good luck with that one. You lose that game, Cincinnati wins, Indy wins, you could go to the 4 seed. Wow. So you got work to do, New England. You got work to do. So, wow, what a game. What a game it was indeed, and it lived up to everything that I had built it up to be. And so that's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. I got one more game to break down in week number 15. So come back and join me as I break down that last and final game in week number 15 of the National Football League.